Hello everyone. Today we are going to start our second class of the D and F block element. In this class we are going to discuss the properties of transition element. Okay, some of the properties we are going to discuss. Now, as we know, in the D block element, that means transition element, due to the availability of D and S electron, they show varieties type of properties. Okay, mainly these properties arises from the nature of unpaired or paired, you can say, D electron. Okay, now see one by one some of the properties. First properties I'm discussing today is the magnetic property. Magnetic property. Okay, first properties is the magnetic property. What do you mean by magnetic property? Magnetic property of any element defines the tendency to attract towards magnet. Okay, these are the magnetic property. Now see, in the transition element, if we look their position in the periodic table, suppose I am drawing the simple diagram of periodic table. See here, these two are S block. From this 10 are D block. Again from this here 6 are P block. These are the P block, this is the D block, and these are S block. As we know, S block are the what? Most reactive metal. That means these are very reactive. See, from left to right, the electronegativity is increases due to size decreases. Now this one is the least electronegative element. That means S block element. P block is the most electronegative element. Okay, now see, the D block element are in between the S and P block in the sense of electronegativity. That's why this act as a metal, but not strong as the S block element, but not as weak as the P block element. That's why these are, you can say, medium reactive metal. Due to this character, this D block element shows varieties type of magnetic and other property. We'll discuss one by one. Okay, these are the why D block element are known as metal. Now from here we just know that D block element has the property to behave as a metal. That's why transition element is termed as now transition metal. Transition metal. Why it is metal? Because it has the tendency to donate the D or as well as S electron. Okay, now see, first property of transition metal is the magnetic property. See, most of the transition metals are paramagnetic. I'm writing. Okay, see, most of the transition metal, TM, that means transition metals, are paramagnetic. Okay, in nature. Now why it is paramagnetic? Because of the unpaired electron in the D orbital. Due to the unpaired electron in what? In D orbital. Okay, these unpaired electron in the D orbital are the responsible for the magnetic, or you can say paramagnetic nature of transition metal. Okay, now see, as we are going from scandium to zinc in the first transition series element, the unpaired electron we can see. Suppose in scandium here is one unpaired electron. Suppose in the iron is what? Iron is atomic number is 26. Here is 4 unpaired electron. Okay, as you see in the copper, here is what? D orbital is fully filled, but in the excited state, of +2, copper behave as a Copper behave as a, or copper have only one unpaired electron in the d orbital. That is why copper also behave as a what? Paramagnetic material. Now see, this paramagnetic nature we have to determine, or we have to explain in the sense of magnetic moment. In the sense of magnetic moment. Now see how it is. See. Now I'm writing paramagnetic nature. Paramagnetic nature increases from scandium to zinc. Scandium to, sorry, not zinc, scandium to chromium. Scandium to chromium, and then decrease. Now see, scandium to chromium, why it is increases? Because if you see scandium to chromium, the unpaired electrons is increases 1 by 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this way. Okay, that's why number of unpaired electron is more. That means it is more paramagnetic. Okay, then decreases because after the chromium, the pairing tendency of electron is increases. That's why the addition of extra electron, that means in the number of sixth electron in the iron, cobalt, nickel, it get paired. That's why their paramagnetic nature decreases. Okay, and then decreases to zinc. Okay, because pairing of electron takes place. Because pairing of electron takes place. Okay, कैसे समझे हम लोग इसको? दो, जब हम स्कैंडियम से क्रोमियम तक जाए, एक एक इलेक्ट्रॉन उसमें ऐड होता जाता है, इसलिए उसका पैरामैग्नेटिक नेचर भी इंक्रीज होता है. लेकिन क्रोमियम के बाद जब आयरन, कोबाल्ट, मैग्नीशियम, आयरन, कोबाल्ट, निकेल ये सब आता है ना, तब तुमने देखा होगा एक एक इलेक्ट्रॉन पेयर्ड में होता हुआ है. दैट मीन्स फर्स्ट आयरन में एक पेयर है, नेक्स्ट कोबाल्ट में 2 पेयर है, निकेल में 3, कॉपर में सारे पेयर है, जिंक में सारे पेयर है. इसलिए उसका जो अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन इन d orbital has the less tendency. That's why their paramagnetic nature also decreases. Now to express this magnetic nature, we have to assign a new term which is known as magnetic moment. Now see, magnetic moment, nu. इसका सिंबल क्या है? न्यू. म्यू इज इक्वल टू n into n plus 2 bm. bm is the unit. bm means Bohr magneton, and n is the number of unpaired electron. n equal to number of unpaired electron. Okay, number of unpaired electron. Now see an example. Suppose questions come this way. The question is, calculate the magnetic moment of divalent ion in aqueous solution if its atomic number is 25. Now if it is 25, then obviously the atomic number of 25 has manganese. That means the element is now manganese. Clear, no? Now here it is given the divalent. Divalent means here it is the manganese in the state of +2. Now let us write the electronic configuration of manganese. Now see, now what is the electronic configuration of manganese? Just try to do yourself. Now see how. Manganese, I am writing the solution. Manganese has the electronic configuration, that is normal manganese. I am writing first of all. Okay, normal manganese has the electronic configuration is this way: argon 3d5 4s2. Okay, now when manganese become +2 oxidation state, then it loses 2 electron. 3d5 remain as it is, and 4s become 0. Because Why the two electrons goes from the s orbital? Because here it is paired, that means half filled d orbital, which is a little bit stable. Okay, now see the d orbital looks like this way. 5 electron in the 3d, that means 5 unpaired electron. That means here n equal to 5, that means number of unpaired electron is 5. Then what do you know? Mu, that means magnetic moment, should be this way, n into n plus 2. Okay, is that it? Okay, wait 1 second. Magnetic moment is this one and unit is Bohr magneton. Okay, now just calculate 5 into plus 2 bm root over 5 plus 2, 7 into 5, how much? 35 bm, and root of 35, it becomes, suppose this way, 5.91 Bohr's magneton. This one is the answer for the above question. Okay, now next question is your homework. Okay, the question is, calculate the spin only magnetic moment of metal 2 positive ion having the atomic number is 27. That means atomic number. Okay, this one is the homework, try to do in. Okay, this is simple, as similar case of earlier one. This one also, here the just element is in plus 2 oxidation state and the atomic number is 27. Okay, just try to do. Okay, next topic, see, next topic is the oxidation state. Okay, oxidation state, that means already we have discussed the various type of oxidation state. Now we are discussing the trend of oxidation state. Okay, how it is decreases, how it is increases. Now see, oxidation state. Okay, now see, transition metal shows variable oxidation state due to the tendency of d as well as s electron take part in the bond formation. Okay, the highest oxidation state is equal to the total number of s electron as well as the unpaired electron in d orbitals. Okay, the oxidation state of first transition element is increases from scandium to what? Scandium to manganese, as I am discussed in the last class. Scandium to manganese, their oxidation state is increases from +3 to up to +7 increases. Okay, and so scandium to manganese, scandium to manganese, this one is scandium. Okay, scandium to manganese, the oxidation state is increases, as we have seen, from +3 to +7. Okay, now then again manganese to zinc, the oxidation state again decreases because pairing of d electron takes place. Now, as I have discussed, among the transition metals of first transition series, manganese shows the highest +7 oxidation state and scandium shows only +3 oxidation state. Okay, see the next property. Okay, I'm saying a question. Okay, questions may come in this way that name the transition element which does not show variable oxidation state. Name the transition metals or element which does not show variable oxidation state. The answer should be scandium, because it shows only +3 oxidation state. Okay, second question only, which of the transition metals shows the largest oxidation state and why? The answer should be manganese. And why? Because in the manganese, 5 unpaired electron in the d orbital and 2 paired electron in s orbital, so that's why they can lose all the electron and forming +7 oxidation state. Okay, next topic is the enthalpy of atomization. Okay, I'm writing enthalpy of atomization. Okay, enthalpy of atomization. Now, what do you mean by enthalpy of atomization? Enthalpy means energy. Atomization means, see, these elements, that means transition metals, are occurred in the naturally in the multiple atomic form. In the multiple atomic form. Suppose, let us take an example. Suppose iron, nickel, copper. These are obtained 2, 3, 5, or you can say 150 atoms in a combined form, group wise. Okay, group wise. So the energy which is required to form a single atom from the group of atom is known as the एंथैल्पी ऑफ एटमाइजेशंस. उसका मीनिंग क्या है? सपोज एक ग्रुप में है, ओके, ये किसी भी मेटल का ग्रुप में है. इसी ग्रुप को अगर हम लोग एनर्जी दे के तोड़ के सिंगल एटम बना दे तो जो एनर्जी लगेगा इसको बनाने में वही होगा एनर्जी और एंथैल्पी ऑफ एटमाइजेशन. ओके, नाउ सी हाउ इट इज वेरिड in between the transition metal series. Okay, now see, the transition metal have high enthalpy of atomization. The transition metal Tm has high enthalpy of atomization due to the large number of unpaired electrons, okay, in their atoms. Okay, they have strong interatomic interaction. Okay, interaction and have strong bonding between the atoms. Okay, now why the strong bonding observed, or you can say what is the reason behind the strong bonding between the transition metal? The main reason is the d overlapping takes place. Now see, as we know, d orbital has this way structure. Suppose we are writing this one is a d orbital, double number, no, we are writing this one is a d orbital. This may be xy, yz, or zx. This can overlap with the another type of d orbital which is of the another metal. That's why to combine, so I'm writing this one is another d orbital of, suppose this one is metal 1, this one is metal 2, this one also a d orbital, this one also a d orbital. This d may be xy, yz, zx, and this also may be xy, yz, zx. Now this can overlap with this one, this can overlap with this one, this can overlap with this one, this can overlap with this one. Due to this multiple overlap, the strong interaction, or you can say strong bond, is formed between two or more metals of transition element. Okay, that's why they form dd overlap. dd overlap means d orbital overlapping. Okay, understood, no? Okay, see the next property. Before going to next property, let us take an example, or let us take a question. See the question is, in the series of scandium to zinc, that means the first transition element series, okay, the enthalpy of atomization of zinc is the lowest and the value is nearly 216 kilojoule per mole. Okay, why? The question says the enthalpy of atomization for zinc in the first transition series is the lowest. Why? See, if you see the electronic configuration of zinc, then you will get 3d10 4s2. That means all of the 5d orbital is completely filled up. In the other sense, we can say in the zinc metal, there is no any unpaired electron in the d orbital. If there is no any unpaired electron in the d orbital, then how can they overlap with another d orbital of another zinc? So due to the unavailability of unpaired electron in the d orbital, the dd overlapping cannot take place in the zinc metals. In the zinc metals, not metal, remember, more than one metal, okay, metals. That's why due to the lack of dd overlapping, the enthalpy of atomization is very low. Now how can we explain, how can you clear the concept? See, जिंक में क्या होता है कि एक भी अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन नहीं रहने की वजह से वो दूसरा जिंक मेटल के साथ dd ओवरलैपिंग नहीं कर पाता है, ओके। अगर dd ओवरलैपिंग नहीं कर पाएगा तो वो क्या होगा, उसका बीच में जिंक और जिंक के जो बीच में जो बॉन्ड होगा वो बहुत वीक होगा ना। अगर बहुत वीक होगा तो हम लोग इजीली थोड़ा बहुत एनर्जी देके ही उसको एटोमाइजेशन कर सकते हैं ना। दैट्स व्हाई देयर एंथैल्पी ऑफ एटोमाइजेशन इज वेरी लो, ओके। थैंक यू।